They say that an army's strength is in its infantry, and if that's true, then Rome's legions were the most powerful force in the ancient world. They fought all over Europe, North Africa, and even the Middle East. But how did they get there? How did Rome raise such a massive fighting force? In today's video, we will answer these questions and more, so stay tuned for more information. This is a new series called Rome Legionaries Infantry of All Times. We will take a look at the Roman army's infantry through the ages. There will be 10 episodes in total, each covering a different century from the early Republic up to the late Empire. The idea is that by looking at the evolution of the infantrymen, we can learn more about the Roman army and the wider world that it inhabited. In this first episode, we will begin our story in the 6th century BC with the Roman invasion of the Italian peninsula. This was a time when Italy was a patchwork of small states, chiefdoms, and villages. The main power in southern Italy were the Greeks, who had established several colonies along the coast. But it was the Etruscans who controlled the central region of the peninsula. It was from them that Rome would take its first military ideas, including the use of the phalanx and the introduction of heavy cavalry. By the middle of the 5th century, Rome had grown into a significant power in Italy, but its next war would be against a much more experienced foe, the Samnites. These were a warlike people who lived in the mountainous central Apennines. At first, the Romans struggled against them, but gradually they began to get the upper hand. By the end of the century, they had defeated the Samnites and their allies and had become masters of Italy. But Rome was not content with just being a regional power. It wanted more. Over the next 2 centuries, it would conquer the Mediterranean. To do this, it needed a strong army. The backbone of this force was the legionary infantryman. He was typically a free-born Italian male who had completed his military service. In later periods, non-citizens could also serve in the legions. But for this first episode, we will stick with the Italians. The legionary was armed with a standard Roman sword, a dagger, a shield, and a helmet. He also carried a water skin and a set of wooden clavi. These were javelins which he used to throw at his enemies. When not in use, they were stored in a special socket in his shield. So there you have it, a brief history of the Roman infantrymen from the 6th to the 4th century BC. In the next 9 episodes, we will continue to follow him as he grows from a regional soldier to a citizen of a vast empire. If you like what we're doing, please stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.